Bob, understand you want to file a co-worker complaint? 4.
Yes.
Actually, 4? Wow.
Against every single WotC employee, especially their dev team, because they suck.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened, and I'll be sure to get right on it.
Well, where to start? Hey, Bob, getting some coffee?
Trying to.
Teferi, you know the company's policy on time manipulation.
Bro.
Very against. Pardon me. Hello? What do you mean I'm late for my 4? It's only 1, it's 4:15. Sorry. Is this you? Okay. Pause time and then put my fingers in a certain position, if you know what I mean. Just lower 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head back to my desk.
Go stir a giant Mai Tai with your swizzle stick.
What was that? No, yes, I do hear it as well. No, the sound you're hearing is a smoke detector.
Chandra, I know you're a pyromancer, very fun, but we need to talk about fires in the workplace, okay? We've been getting some complaints.
Bob.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
Nice.
It was Bob. All I'm saying is look at how much paperwork OSHA throws at me after a good inspection.
I could just burn those up for you.
Would you? Don't. Stop burning stuff.
Okay.
The only thing I want you burning with is ambition, desire for work. A burning sensation when you pee is okay.
No, it's not.
It is for
You
me.
should see a doctor.
Refuse. If you don't go, you don't have it.
Bob, there are 2 bins there.
Vivian, I can't believe I have to say this, but could you please not shoot arrows
Jesus.
anywhere in the vicinity of your coworkers?
I was doing my part to make this office eco-friendly.
But if you enforce our green policy by shooting arrows, that's a violation of our office policy.
Why don't we just agree to disagree?
Okay, no.
Am I here to be honored?
Really?
Am I here to
You
be
tackled
honored?
Bob in the office.
Yes. I defend those who cannot defend themselves.
It's a
Am
That guy's lit.
I here to be honored?
Really?
Yes, really.
You tackled Bob in the office.
Yeah, is this a Netflix show? This would be the best Netflix show ever for Magic. This would be the only way that the Netflix show for Magic would never be disappointing, because it would be hilarious. It would be great.
Yes. I defend those who cannot defend themselves.
It's a photocopier.
But it has no means of repelling the attacks of others. No arms, no claws, no magic, save the ability to reproduce paper. I was merely aiding the vulnerable.
You know who seems vulnerable in the story of Bob gently tapping on a photocopier?
A photocopier.
No. Bob! Bob was vulnerable. You were the problem. You attacked Bob. He needed defending from you.
No.
Yes! You're the bad guy.
No.
How do I amend this situation?
Promise me you won't do it again.
Oh, I swear it shall be done, Pete of Human Resources. I swear it by the spirit of the plains, by my Leon in honor, by the soul of my departed brother Jazal.
There's more of you?
Yes.
Jizzle?
Sometimes in this world you can just say got it.
Got it.
Great.
Great.
Got it.
Stop.
No stop. Also, when you walk around with your tail up, everyone can see your butthole.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, Bob. Good news. Get in here. I talked to each one of your coworkers. You, my friend, will have no more problems. That's an HR guarantee.
That is great.
Bob. Teferi! Stop freezing Bob!
Bob is Urza confirmed. Good job, WotC team. Good job.
Hello and welcome to Wizards Presents. I'm Sydney Goodman, and today we're going to announce all of the biggest Magic the
I'm
Gathering
ready.
and Dungeons and Dragons events,
super excited.
releases, and partnerships coming up over
Let's
the
go.
next year. I'll be joined by Jimmy Wong and Ginny D, who will help deliver new exclusive details about what's in store for Magic and D&D. And stick around
Keep an eye on the chat, because the chat is usually hilarious.
because afterwards we'll have the debut of Magic the Gathering's
I know it's not live, which
latest
is
set,
kind of sad.
Dominaria United, where we'll dive deeper into the story and mechanics with a ton of card previews. We hope you're as hyped
Her knees have faces. I mean, sometimes
as
it
we are.
happens.
In 2023, Magic will be traveling to one of the most iconic realms of all time, Middle-earth. As previously announced, the epic world of The Lord of the Rings is getting the legendary Magic treatment. The book's influence
Awesome.
on modern fantasy is
Awesome.
undeniable. So many
Good,
fantasy
good, good.
novels,
Now, when are they going to the Grand Line? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. When are they going to the Grand Line?
TV shows, movies, and games trace their lineage back to Middle-earth. Now this iconic story will be part of Magic's. In
We get Gandalf, the real
honor
Gandalf.
of this, the design design team worked closely with Middle-earth Enterprises and dove deep into the source material.
Let's go.
To make sure to get it
Let's go.
just right. The cards and art in this series will have all the flavor and history of.
Hey, Ozzy man, I see you there. Is Ozzy in here right now? If there's a card called "You Shall Not Pass," I'm out. True. Fucking so true. You shall not
trilogy.
pass.
With the
There has
gameplay
to be.
depth that Magic players
What's up, Kaufman?
love. We're excited to share that the set will be packed full of cards featuring beloved characters
good.
like the Ring Bearer himself, Frodo, and the
All right, what does that look like, Tybalt?
corrupted Maiar, the fearsome Balrog. But it's not just these two you'll find
Ballpog.
on your journey.
Let's go. Let's go,
You'll
Ballpog.
see the entire fellowship that helped the ring
L.
make it all
Frodo look like Tybalt Lamau. See, I'm not the only one. It totally
the way to
looks.
Mordor. That the set will be
Totally
packed
looks like
full of
Tybalt,
cards
right? There's
featuring
no
beloved
way.
Characters like the Ring
Come on.
Bearer himself, Frodo,
And why is his hands like that? Why?
and the corrupted Maiar, the fearsome Balrog.
weird.
But it's not just these two you'll
Let's
find
go,
on your journey.
Ballpog.
You'll see the entire fellowship that helped the ring make it all the way to Mordor. Villains from across Middle-earth and the trusty items
Magic should be magic. Boomer alert. Boomer alert.
they brought along the way. To truly
Oh my god, there's so many people. Is everyone sewing out? What is wrong with you all? Do you hate Lauder? Spoilers. Tybalt's Trickery reprint? No. Although, yes. At the same time.
really bring this world to life, it couldn't just be contained in the frames of one card. This set
Okay.
will feature
100
a
plus
number of
sagas,
new
right?
card treatments, including borderless scene cards. When brought together, these cards will form amazing, recognizable scenes from the books, like
Sick.
the climactic battle of
Does that mean we could get BFM then? Right? Free Monster and TG. Right? We could get something like BFM because the card like completes each other. It's borderless scenes.
Pelennor Fields.
We should be able to get them,
outside
right?
Gondor.
See, look at this.
Beautiful tableau is formed from 18 separate cards. Are glorious pieces of art, but put them together, you can see the entire story as if turning pages in the novel.
Can you?
This
Because this just looks like one picture.
epic crossover will be a fully modern legal and draftable booster set for you
Just modern legal?
to play and collect. Digital-only players won't be left out either. Magic will also release The Lord of the Rings as an alchemy set in MTG Arena,
Poggers!
complete with a new
Let's go.
battlefield, mastery pass, avatars, pets, and more. The celebration of Magic the Gathering's 30th anniversary
The material it's made out of looks super uncomfortable.
is right around the corner, and we
It looks like it's made out of that really thin, like shitty office carpet. You know what I mean? Wear pants? They're hot pants.
want to celebrate with you,
The short shorts.
our fans. Now, I'd like to bring on actor, director, and Magic Maestro
See, look, it looks so uncomfortable.
Jimmy Wong to tell us a bit
Who wears shorts with a blazer? I don't know.
more about it.
Hey, Sydney. Great to be
Jimmy.
here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Whoa. Where's Becca Scott? Wow, nobody likes this person. Everyone's wanting Becca Scott.
You know, it's been a tough few years with the pandemic, but now we are finally starting to invite everyone back to local game stores and Friday Night Magic. Recently, some friends of mine, including
Dang.
Post Malone, got together for some F&M. Check it out.
Yeah.
We also want to bring back tournaments and celebrations in a big way. This is something we've all truly been missing over the last few years, and we're stoked to finally have the gathering in Magic again. You've already seen Command Fest pop up all around the world, and perhaps you've even been able to attend some. Well,
Onesie stream? Oh, is that it? It is! Alright, let me get naked real quick.
Everything culminates in Magic's biggest in-person celebration ever, Magic 30.
"30 years of gathering." Wait, what? Hundreds of events. One-of-a-kind beta draft. You hope they reprint Duress? There's no way. That card is too overpowered. It's even banned in Legacy. Oh, Day 9's going? Hell yeah. That almost makes me... That is probably the only thing that makes me want to go. Nope. It's still crazy. I'll go to BlizzCon when I don't play any Blizzard games. I'll go to EVO when I don't play any fighting games. Yeah, I will not go to any Magic conventions because they're so fucking boring. And I play Magic. That's so bad. Come on. Oh no. Because I don't play Magic. No, I'm getting out of it. I would still love Magic if the client didn't suck. I'm pretty sure.
Join us in Las Vegas on October 28th to
Worst smelling event ever. Yeah, I would probably go if I didn't play Magic. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
the 30th for community events, celebrations, tournaments, and the most prestigious competitive event of the year, the Magic World Championship. All live on Magic the Gathering Arena and in person. And there's even more things you can do and see at Magic 30. There will be on-demand events for you to play in, including a modern tournament where the top 8 will play a beta
Bing bong! What up, chummy?
draft. Yeah, you heard that right. A beta draft in person. I hope those lucky players brought those fancy white gloves with them. There's gonna be panels to attend, your favorite artists, a cosplay contest, parties, and so much more. Oh, and
Sick.
I, along with some of my friends,
Who do we got? The man himself, Rosie, Jimmy, JLK. I have no idea who that is. Gavin's going? Gavin seems cool. No idea who that is. 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 How many Who Megalols can we put on one poster to try to attract people? Richard Garfield and Mark Tedden. I don't know who that is.
will also be there. You can go right now to the Magic.
Do you remember when you met the man? I do. I remember where I was when I met the man. I do. I do. I remember who introduced me to the man. I remember the full backstory of the man.
30 website to get your tickets, and we'll see you in Vegas. Magic 30 is going to be so much fun, and I really can't wait. And of course, there's
Wait, did they say anything about it? They already had all of that announced already.
even more ways to participate.
Like, here's all this news we already told you about 2 weeks ago. Look at all this non-news.
In Magic's anniversary, we told you this is going to get big. So
You still didn't get your promo cards for participating in launch party? Ooh, lunch party? Isn't that going to be a horrible limited form? You don't even get to keep the cards, do you? If you got to keep the cards, it would also be terrible because you would just go for price drafting. There's no fucking way I would take like the best deck cards. Fuck that. I'd be like, this card's worth $30,000. This one's worth $5,000. I wonder what fucking card I'll pick.
Oh, you can go to your local game store. Play Magic
I
with your
fucking
friends,
wonder.
and get some awesome throwback promos for your collection. To celebrate Magic the Gathering's 30th anniversary, across the next 8 pre-releases,
Need to auto draft Black Lotus. No shit.
Magic is making 30 promos that span the game's
30?
history, one from each year from 1993 to the present. The
Okay.
promos will be released in chronological order. So for Dominaria United, your local game store will be receiving additional promos that celebrate the very first 3 years, with Sarah Angel from 1993, Ball Lightning from 1994, and
remember that.
Finhorn Elves from 1995.
That's a...
No promos that celebrate
that-
the very first.
is that the
3
OG
years, with
Lalawanor elf?
Sarah Angel from
Oh, this is Lalawanor Elf, right? Just the German version.
1993, Ball Lightning from 1994, and Finhorn Elves from 1995. This is a 30th anniversary event special.
Wall of Roots? That's a throwback, too. Well, I guess they're all throwbacks, obviously. I just remember all these. Give you my Ball Lightning. Pog. Whenever what else under the metal hands.
So make sure to support your local game
I played this in my Sliver deck.
stores and pick up those promos.
Don't ask. It was a good ramp card at the time. This song is kind of a banger, though.
Jimmy, can you break down some of the exciting releases that were hinted at?
Absolutely. Well, I think OG Magic fans will be excited for this. As you saw, there's going to be a special secret lair that celebrates the 30 years of Magic. The
Never mind.
30th
I'm just not gonna
anniversary
say anything
countdown
anymore.
kit will be a unique and limited run product from Secret Lair containing 30 cards. One iconic card.
Why is
from
she wearing
each
a green
year of
screen?
Magic's
That's too
history.
green for a green
Each
screen,
classic
actually.
card will have a fresh new look.
It'll work,
thanks to
but
featured artists and
it's
its
more like
own
green
individual
carpet
booster pack.
and one of those 70s shag vans. That's what that green is.
Wrapper. So rip them all open at once or crack one each day this December to
Yeah.
count down to the start of 2023. And it wouldn't be Secret Lair if we didn't mention the August Super Drop coming up next week. Go to the Secret Lair website on August 22nd. That's 4 days from now, where
I hate Secret Lair. Hashtag delete Secret Lair.
you will be able to get cards from
Why
Victor
is the
Adami's
camera moving?
Minga's Artist Series and the Showcase Dominaria United.
That's
only
tight.
2 of the drops, so you definitely want to check out the rest.
Is that a bolus?
Also, we are excited to announce that there will be a Brain Dead Secret Lair collaboration in the near future.
So many jokes. There's so many. But why would you make a secret lair of your own dev team?
So you're going to want to keep an eye out for that. With these and all the secret layers we've already talked about, there are going to be plenty of amazing ways to add pieces to your collection.
We've already talked earlier about one
Okay, back
of
to
our
Magic.
Universes Beyond sets hitting shelves next year in The Lord of the Rings. But we have even more to talk about. In Universes Beyond, Magic stretches beyond its established lore to encompass the expansive characters, worlds, and adventures that not just Magic fans, but the world loves. These collaborations are amazing for those whose passions lie between the legendary mechanics.
Why don't they have Magic NFTs, fake booster packs cards, or do they? They would have rug pulled already if they had it. The thing is, I don't think if WotC doesn't care about any of their content creators at all, so they don't have anybody to really shill for the NFTs, and so they wouldn't be able to make any money off them before they did like a rug pull. Like if they did their own currency for it too. They could have done either if they actually like cared. So they could have made like a quick mill or two, right?
mix of Magic and these beloved fandoms. Universes
They still could.
Beyond is an incredible way for new and
And it's pretty fucking easy. You don't even need good developers because they don't have any. All you have to do is fucking download some GitHub repo and change a couple lines of code. Easy rug pull.
old players to jump into Magic. For experienced players, these sets provide a way to dive into other worlds and spice up decks. And newer players can see some of their favorite characters through the eyes of Magic's best artists and then actually interact with those characters through our favorite card game. In the past, Universes Beyond has gone to the upside down with Stranger Things, a release that contained fan favorites such as the Mind Flayer and 11. The
Did those get... Are those standard legal? I don't remember. Because they're black border, not silver border. So those are standard legal, right? MTG chat legit hates the stream. God, this chat is terrible and toxic. Why? It's because the company is terrible and toxic. What the fuck do you think?
Magic roster expanded with the likes of Chun-Li and Ryu from Street Fighter. We've seen The Walking Dead, Fortnite, and even the hit series Arcane represented in the Magic
Arcane? What?
frame. And now, more new worlds are coming to Magic the Gathering.
Not standard,
Universes
but
Beyond.
modern. I'm pretty sure they're
Let's talk to our
paper
friend Jimmy about
legal.
what worlds Magic is traveling to next.
I believe they're just Commander Vintage Legacy legal. Huh.
Coming next to Magic's Universes Beyond will be Warhammer 40,000.
I think if I just played paper, I would really like Magic a lot more, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Because I still really like the game. Right?
Now, you are...
Let's talk to our friend Jimmy about what worlds Magic is traveling to next.
Ooh, Warhammer 40,000, right? Or Warhammer 40,000, whatever it is. Warhammer 40,000K.
Coming next to Magic's Universes Beyond will be Warhammer 40,000. Now, you already know about this release, but there's still a ton to explore in this collaboration between two tabletop titans. Here's Dee, who will have a behind-the-scenes look at the upcoming Warhammer 40,000 collection.
40,000, lol, it's 40K. Didn't we look this up before? Just say 40K, my god. Is it Warhammer 40K or 40,000? Warhammer 40,000, informally known as Warhammer 40K. Yeah, because on their website somewhere or in one of their videos, they specifically said Warhammer 40,000. Like the company, they said it. It's just the fans that say 40K. All of them say 40K. And they're like, no, it's 40,000.
Hello, Magic and Warhammer fans. I'm Dee, and I'm here to invite you to join me for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how two of my favorite games came together in the latest entry in Magic's Universes Beyond series. It's a real love letter to fans of both franchises.
Wait, we get a Warhammer thing?
Show off everything that went into doing this cross.
What does the 40,000 represent? I have no idea. Just some arbitrary number. Year 40,000? So it's been year 40,000 for like 30 years?
Over justice. You won't want to miss it, so be sure to catch it streaming on YouTube September 12th for all the details.
I want this for like my streaming chair. That'd be pretty cool.
Warhammer 40,000 has joined with Magic the Gathering, and you will now be able to play Commander with
People are omega triggered about that.
One of the most famous tabletop games ever created. There will be
4,000, 40,000, 40K a riot.
Different decks available.
People are big baby mad about it.
From the Imperium of Man, the Forces of Chaos, the Undying Necrons, and the Tyranids. Each deck plays true to the army's heroes, strategies, and lore. The Imperium seeks to control the tide of battle and overwhelm their enemies with the full weight of the Emperor's will.
Okay, so this
Chaos
is
champions the unpredictable energies of the war
sick.
And the pantheon of ruinous powers.
Sick.
Deathless Necron dynasties overrun their opponents with an unending horde of soulless living metal.
Only OGs call it Warhammer 400000. True.
And finally, the Tyranid Hive fleets feed upon everything they touch to ramp towards massive, massive threats.
Wait, sorry, is this a secret lair drop or an actual set?
To see this theme in action, each deck will come with a Soul Ring theme
Okay.
around its faction. These decks will be available in regular and collector editions. Every card in the collector edition comes in the new, beautiful Surge Foil treatment.
Commander decks?
Look for the Warhammer 40,000 Commander decks coming out later this year. Oh, and for all of you looking forward to the Warhammer 40,000 Secret Lair drops, we now have a release date. You'll be able to grab these amazing cards on October 17th.
And Secret Lair.
And what other worlds lie beyond? That's right. The series that has been around for over 60 years is joining forces with Magic the Gathering.
Doctor Who Megalol?
will come to Magic in immersive commander decks. There will be 4 decks in total. They will feature doctors, companions,
BBC?
villains,
Any BBCs in
locations,
chat?
and more from across the show's 60-year
Any BBCs?
history. But it's not just commander decks. If you really want to make your deck fantastic, you'll be able to get beautiful special treatments in their very own collector boosters. And you can bet Secret Lair will be in on the action as well.
Of course.
Whether
Why
heroic
wouldn't
or
they?
villainous, in old Whovian or new, these decks are so full of references you'd think they're bigger on the inside. I hope you're as stoked as I am for these upcoming collaborations. And stay tuned to what's coming next.
Up next, Magic the Gathering has some epic things brewing.
There we go.
We've got some huge
We have
news,
circles.
especially for those fans who have been with us from the very beginning. All
I like
those years
circles.
ago. Next, we're taking a look at Dominaria Remaster. This special limited print run set contains cards
Of course.
from 27 previously released
Well, they are for bundles. They are now.
sets located either in Dominaria or from ancillary sets featuring Dominaria-themed cards. It really is a culmination of everything Magic has done on this plane.
Is that-
Located either... We're taking a look at
Is that-
Dominaria Remaster. This special limited print run
Who was
set
that?
contains cards from 27 previously released sets located either in Dominaria or from ancillary sets featuring Dominaria-themed cards. It really is a culmination of everything Magic has done on this plane
I thought that was.
in the past
Who's
30
that supposed to
years,
be?
and it will be fully draftable. You will be able to recreate that feeling of early Magic sets with many familiar classic draft archetypes that longtime fans are gonna love revisiting.
This beat is fire, though.
There will be draft and collector boosters, which will include alternate versions of popular cards, as well as borderless art and retro frames. Take a look at Force of Will and Arborea.
Okay. The fuck is Arborea? Creatures can't attack a player unless that player casts a spell or put a non-token permanent onto the battlefield during their last turn. Interesting.
Oh man, I can't wait to collect these.
And now it's time for the Magic main event. We're going to get a look at the full slate of main sets that will be coming out from the rest of this year through 2023. There's a whole lot of news to cover. Jimmy,
All right,
tell us
let's
about
walk.
this exciting
Let's
set.
walk into
All
the
right,
circle
let's start
for
at the
dramatic
very
effect.
Center of the multiverse, Magic's home. Dominaria United is going to be the next big set release coming your way, and no better
let's
place
just
to
walk
celebrate
back.
its 30th anniversary than where
Dominaria.
it all began. This set really ramps up
Back
the
home.
biggest storyline in Magic's history, the Phyrexian Arc. Magic has never done a multi-set storyline quite like this before. The iconic and beautiful plane of Dominaria is under duress. War is on the horizon, and it's becoming clear that the
Video editors gonna have a field day with their outfit. Yeah, they're gonna turn into like a Nahegao outfit and shit.
Phyrexians we've been seeing from across the multiverse are setting into motion something much more sinister. Vorinclex, the green-aligned Praetor, was last seen on Kaldheim, stealing a sample of the godly and mysterious Tyrite. The blue Praetor, Jin Gitaxis, not only stole the reality chip from Kamigawa, but managed to complete the very first Planeswalker with Tamio.
That's not how the story is. The Wanderer had the reality chip because the reality chip is basically like a fake planeswalk shit. So the Wanderer had the reality chip. The Wanderer couldn't do like stable planeswalks and shit because of the reality chip. Was finally able to get back to Kamigawa, and that's how they're like, oh my god, it's the fucking whatever. The Emperor, right? Because it turned into the Wandering Emperor was the Wanderer, and then it ended up being the Wandering Emperor, right? So they found the chip. They got the chip out of the Emperor because it was so unstable and shit, right? And then Tamio got it because it amplified her power. But for some reason, amplifying her power after she did a little stun lock on Jingataxis, for some reason, it made the stun lock before she got the reality, because basically she stun locked Jingataxis. And then she got the reality chip and was like, ah, I have reality chip. I'm so much stronger now. And walked out of the room. And because she was so much stronger, her stun lock was not strong enough. So Jingataxis got out of that stun lock and stole the reality chip. Subs every other paragraph, paraphrase, talk shit about what. Did you see? I did the story for this. Did you not? Here, okay.
I was more interested in talking about how everyone's favorite planeswalker, Tamio, is now a, spoiler alert, Phyrexian. So we're not exactly sure how Tamio got her spark. You know, she went from Kamigawa to Innistrad. She got attracted to the moon, you know, how people do. She met with Genric and learned more about the moon and kicked it with Avacyn for a bit. And then they just kind of appeared back in Kamigawa.
For no reason.
So this is when we learned about the reality chip. The reality chip was made by Tezzeret and Jingataxis. This is what was used on the Wanderer to make her spark just go crazy and makes her just wander throughout the plains. So the Wanderer finally comes back, and they realize that Kaido and the Wanderer is an emperor. Kaido's like, oh, welcome back. The Wanderer's like, yo, I'm about to planeswalk again if I don't get this reality chip. So basically, them three being Tamio, Kaido, and the Wanderer go try to find Jingataxis and Tezzeret, but they're working together to try to set up a trap for a bunch of planeswalkers. So they ended up trapping Tamio and Kaido. So the Wanderer now has some like really cool surveillance footage type of vision and was able to see
for some weird ass reason
get kidnapped. So she was able to spark into that room, cut Jingataxis, and then free Tamio and Kaido.
So for her to never be able to control her spark ever, she randomly has this surveillance footage type of vision, and she was able to exactly spark into that room magically, even though she's never been able to control her spark. So not only can she teleport to a plains, she can teleport to an exact room in an exact location, unlike every other planeswalker who has mastered their planeswalking.
So after Tamio was free, she was able to subdue Tez with some like paralysis scroll spell thingamabob. She took out the chip from the Wanderer, put it in herself. But the thing is that chip, I guess, made her stronger, but then weakened the spell against Tezzeret, and all this other shit happened. Tezzeret was able to get away, but then able to find out that Tamio had the chip. So basically opened up this portal and just quantum leaped with Tamio. And then Tamio just like woke up feeling lit as with like 3 scrolls that she promised to never unleash onto the world because of how crazy they are. What the hell? Tezzeret's sitting there looking at Jingataxis like, hey, she has these scrolls that could destroy everything. Why do we want to let her keep those? And Jin's like, oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just shut up. She's cool. I don't know. People are just really upset about it because a lot of people like Tamio. But I don't know. I think the story is really well written and it makes so much sense. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. There was a...
True! It makes so many senses. But that is the story of that. Yeah, that's exactly what Jin said. Tezzeret's like, yo... Tamio's like our biggest enemy. Why did you just give her the biggest secret power ever? And Jin's like, don't worry about it. She's cool. She's on our side now. He didn't even give Tezzeret a reason. He didn't give him any information. He's like, don't even worry about it. That was it. And Tezzeret's like, all right, cool. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Urabrask, the Red Praetor, snuck his way into New Capenna in order to study the effects of Halo and see if it might have some way of standing up against the growing Phyrexian army. Dominaria has long theorized that...
But who knows? Maybe I'll start doing lore videos. Like lore shorts, kind of like that, but I'll get into character and we'll do like some shit cosplay.
That it would be next in the Phyrexians' plans, but the heroes truly have no
only Phyrexian I
idea
know is the Obliterator because I can see what it drops.
Tamio isn't the only planeswalker hidden among them that has Phyrexian oil coursing through their veins.
Oh shit.
Dominaria United is right around the corner in September. And stick around, because after the presentation, there will be the debut of Dominaria United. I'll show off card previews and mechanics, and we'll have a special teaser video to show at the end. So whether
Tease
you're new or returning to
yes.
Magic, this is where the epic journey of the Phyrexian arc truly begins, and you definitely don't want to miss it.
Yes,
So we've
tease
spoken
me,
about the past
yes,
with Magic's 30th
yes.
anniversary and everything up to the present, including Dominaria United. Only thing left is the future. Jimmy, what's coming up for Magic next year?
All right, hot on the heels of Dominaria United, the next chapter of the
She's a
Phyrexian
goth
arc
raver
will
now?
unfold
True. True.
as we travel back in time to follow the most famous brothers in the multiverse, Urza and Mishra in the Brothers' War. In this set that's
Wait, Urza's dead though. Urza gave his spark to Karn.
trials both the present and past of Dominaria, we'll get a closer look at the infamous conflict that caused the rift between these two artificers. And you know what that means? Plenty of artifacts. And we're not talking about spectacles and sunglasses. We're talking giant mechs and colossal war machines. We can't say too much just yet, but one thing I will say is that the fate of the future might be rooted in the past. Up next in our
Huh?
storyline, our villains
Definitely going back in time. Yeah, they're going back in time. They're trying to fix the story that they fucked up. I guess. How many times has Tybalt been killed? I don't know.
grow ever stronger in Phyrexia. All will be one. For the first time in over 10 years, we revisit the terrifying and beautiful plane of New Phyrexia as Elish Norn inches ever closer in her plan to conquer the multiverse. Things look grim, terrible.
Does Jingataxis work under Elish Norn? Elish Norn tried to complete a Mirren woman in front of a large gathering of Phyrexians. The completion failed horribly. The Praetor investigator discovered that she was experiencing a nightmare produced by the planeswalker Ashiok. Let's go, Ashiok! Ashiok was surprised to see that the Phyrexians could have nightmares as well, leaving Norn in shock. She tried to attack Ashiok when they conjured a figure of Elspeth. Enraged, Norn vowed she would kill Elspeth, but not Ashiok? She's the head praetor. White aligned faction of Phyrexia, led by Elish Norn, believes that Phyrexia must adhere to the teachings of the Father of Machines. Who's the Father of the Machines? They intended to indoctrinate everyone about the truth, even if it means tearing them limb from limb and reattaching the parts. Creation that is worthy of Phyrexia. Dogmatic. Urza? Yeah, but didn't they try to kill Urza? Gerard? Chastised by his new master Yawgmoth killed him, right? And Yawgmoth works for Bolus? Gerard beheaded Urza and was crowned as Yawgmoth's new champion. No, Urza gave Karn his spark before he died. Yawgmoth works under who? Don't care. But Karn is the father of machines. Is he? Karn was the bringer of the Phyrexian oil to Mirrodin. So Karn made everything? Began the slow process of transforming the creatures it touched to deep beneath the world's surface. Slowly losing his mind, Karn became father of machines and the leader of Phyrexia. So Karn leads Phyrexia. Yawgmoth is the original Phyrexian? Yawgmoth is also known as Infallible, the Servants, and there's a Lord of the Wastes. He's the Lord of the Wastes, not Lord of the Machines. I thought Karn was a good guy. So did I. I don't fucking know.
And oil oozes from every corner of the plane as we experience the fear and joy of becoming one. Horror fans, you won't be disappointed. And finally,
okay.
March of the Machine, the dramatic conclusion of the Phyrexian arc. The entire multiverse rallies together for one epic climactic battle.
So it's another War of the Spark. Who do we see here? Chandra, of course.
But
who's in the back?
When the dust sheen, the dramatic conclusion of the Phyrexian arc. The entire multiverse rallies together for one epic climactic battle. But
that's not Angrath. Angrath has more than one eye. Enhance. Who the fuck is that? Nissa? No, that's the... Is that Baral? I don't know any of these people. Is that Eska's chariot? So that's Eska in Eska's chariot. Got it. That's what it is. Yeah. So it's Eska, Chandra, whoever the fuck. That's Who Megalol, and this is also Who Megalol. Oh no, this is oh, the guy from League of Legends. The guy that like jumps to you, throws out all the swords, comes back. Zed. It's Zed. It's Zed, right? Talon. No, it was Talon. It might be Talon. It might be Talon. I think maybe Talon. League of Legends? Okay, League of Legends collab confirmed? Confirmed? Oh, yeah, baby. League of Legends confirmed. Talon is Phyrexian now. Confirmed? Confirmed?
what will be left when the dust settles? Did we survive?
Wait, is Teferi a bad guy? Yeah, you're not a fan of LOL? Well, I mean, at least they have good storytelling. Oh, he's a good... Why is he standing in front of...
The entire multiverse rallies together for one epic climactic battle. But what will be left when the dust...
What? It looks like he's helping Elish Norn, right? He's a dick, but not a bad guy? Well, yeah, obviously he's a dick. Everyone actually hates him.
Settles. Did we survive?
I don't know how he got a wife and kid. That had to have been time twisted. There's no way that's real.
We'll find out where we stand after that epic four.
He's being watched by her? Oh, like they want to perfect Teferi? Please, no. We don't need another Teferi, but one that's actually like broken.
Part arc in March of the Machine, the Aftermath. The very fabric of the multiverse has fundamentally changed, and Aftermath serves as an epilogue by tying up some loose ends and starting new beginnings. After the conclusion of the Phyrexian arc, Wilds of Eldraine returns us to the fan favorite plane, but in this
fan favorite. Sorry.
set, we're taken away from the cities and castles and into Eldraine's wilds, where enchantments abound, and where you might even recognize inspiration from even more classic fairy tales. And
that artwork's lit, though.
Finally, we close out 2023 by going on a
why are they going back to Eldraine?
Thrilling adventure. We'll dive into the lost caverns of Ixalan. But things have changed since the powerful artifact of the Immortal Sun disappeared. For this set, we're spelunking for buried treasure. And there just might be some dinosaurs.
Hell yeah. Are they gonna bring back reprint Starve Extinction, but make it uncounterable? We have to wait 2 years. We have to wait 2 years. Ixalan is super based.
Thanks so much for taking us through these upcoming set releases, Jimmy. Well, that just about wraps up Wizards Presents 2022. We have covered so much ground today. Exciting new titles, expansions, books, and experiences.
It's still 30
Let's
minutes.
remind our fans what's coming out for Wizards of the Coast in the coming years. I'm Cindy Goodman, and now is the Dominaria United debut.
Hello, Magic fans, and welcome. I'm Jimmy Wong, and it's time to talk about Dominaria United. Today, we're going to be learning more about what
Is Memer Band gone? Yeah. Somebody put full frontal nudity and stripping in one of the memes. So I had to get rid of it. I can't put my channel at risk like that. So, one person to ruin it all. People be bananas. Yeah, dumb fucks.
went into revisiting Magic's
Actual
very first
literal
plane,
dumb fucks.
checking out the set's mechanics, and of course, getting a first look at a ton of brand new cards.
To be fair, I do believe it was an accident. I do believe it was an accident. But it doesn't make it any less dumb fuckery.
Cards. Now, if you dropped in earlier this week for our video covering the history, art, and
It was my fault for not having mods screen every single clip first, to be honest. I just need more mods than just Nerdy Kitty. That's all.
world building of Dominaria United, you might already know a bit of what to expect. But if you weren't able to make it, here's a quick recap. But be sure to check out the whole thing once we're done here today.
As Magic the Gathering's first setting, Dominaria kind of
Raylan, you don't do shit. You look there and look pretty.
establishes the standard by which all
Can you apply? Yeah, DM me on Discord.
other world building is measured.
This is obviously a place that's steeped in legend, has so much
Raylan's
history.
like, what the
It's
fuck?
just so inspiring and so hopeful.
I've set
Everyone
up a
on this
poll
planet
before.
fully understands the gravity.
One of the things we wanted to see in this set was various cultures helping each other out, especially as they're faced with this new threat.
So you're going to see people teaming up and
Anyone who asked to be a mod shouldn't be a mod. That's not necessarily true. You do predictions and polls sometimes? Yeah. But that's like, that's what 99.99% of mods do on Twitch, and that's, like, I can do all that. That's, I don't know. It's close to useless, honestly. It's fine. It's fine that you do it. It does help, but it's not like, it's not really mod.
And it's all hands on deck.
That if this threat makes it past Dominaria, it's bad news for everybody in the entire
Fire Raylene?
multiverse.
I know, I should fire everybody. Belittled? No. It's every mod. It's not Raylene. Clean some of the commands and app. That's true. You did do that. No, Raylene does things sometimes. It's just most mods don't do a lot of mod things in general. Just by large, the majority of mods do nothing. People are different, or people are good at different things. It's just, since I don't have the income to pay the mods, they don't have an incentive to be all like big dick the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
And before we jump into the new stuff, check out this announcement we
Like,
made earlier
can
about
you actually
the
blame
Lost
them?
Legends promotion.
No.
We're excited to bring you the story
Can't
of
blame anybody.
Magic's Lost Legends. We found
The other thing is most mods don't get paid either. Which is why they all kind of suck. But it sets a precedent for every other mod. Like, all we have to do is ban people. That's the only thing mods have to do. That's basically what the only thing they do.
I'm a goddamn man. All right.
Mods here are fine. Don't change what isn't broken.
Real man.
No,
never
I'm just
cry,
saying I need
okay?
I need more mods. That's all. Doing work where listening to the stream, so not paying attention all the time. No, I totally get it. I get it, Raylene. It's fine. You do fine. When you're able to do stuff, you do stuff. I don't pay you, so it's not like you have an obligation or anything by any stretch of the imagination. Like nothing. You have zero obligation. You just have the, yeah, I can help when I'm around. Clone Raylene a few times and he'll be worth a whole mod. Yeah, we'll clone Raylene so that the other Raylene can do all the homework. And then we'll have the real Raylene hang out.
Found
You're fired from this job that doesn't pay you?
these
Exactly.
boxes of the original Legends in a warehouse, and we
Well, to be fair, I think a lot of the mods that I have literally don't do anything.
wanted to get them out into the world for our players to enjoy.
It is the perfect set to take cards from 1994 and actually put them into packs.
Holding the original is really
Oh,
cool.
that's
and it
right.
Makes me feel like I'm 13 again.
This has stood the test of time. And it's
Yeah,
still
they opened a
played today,
case
and
of
it's still
Booster Box
something
of
that people
Legends.
cherish.
And now we get to share them with you.
It was a palette. It wasn't just a case. It was like a palette.
As you can see, there's a ton of exciting stuff in the works for this set. So let's hear from some special guests who can tell us a little more about just what went into crafting cards and gameplay that bring the legendary world of Dominaria United to life.
We're heading back to Dominaria because, of course we are. It's our 30th anniversary. Dominaria is our home plane. It's quintessential fantasy, and in a lot of ways, it is quintessential magic. This plane is full of diversity. This plane is absolutely beautiful.
I still find it ridiculous that they're just like, oh, we found a palette of this super, super, super rare box in a storage warehouse that we no longer use. I'm like, how does your storage warehouse just not take inventory ever? Like, Legends is like 30 years old or something. Like, you haven't taken inventory in 30 years? For real? 30 years? How much is a box worth? Like $20,000?
And it has a very long, storied history in the Magic multiverse.
It has this huge history stretching back to the very beginning of the game. All these different
It's just
themes
so
over
weird.
the
It's so
years
weird
are
to me.
available for us to draw.
It reeks of incompetence and or lying. But it could be either at this point. I really don't know.
Upon and sort of call back to.
There's been so much that's happened here. We really started off in Dominaria, and we've come back again and
I
again.
really don't know.
As we're making
Stream
Dominaria
chat's funny,
United,
stream chat's
we have to pull from
hilarious.
all of the fan favorite things from around Magic history and put them into a set.
We have all
Gavin's cool.
the denizens of Dominaria putting aside their differences and teaming
Yeah,
up
see, everyone
in the
likes
face
Gavin.
of
Gavin
a
Pog. Everyone's pogging for Gavin. Pog for Gavin. So fucking hard right now. Legends packs go for around 900. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Before someone
I just
accidentally
love
cracks
coming
and
up
invoke
with
prejudice.
Who would make sense to come back for the
They-
second invasion?
Is that from
of
that set? They
Dominaria.
probably
It
excluded
brings
those.
that great fusion that I've loved of nostalgia with current day, right? You see the old stuff and you see them in an updated new form. And that is the beauty of Dominaria, is that old and the new together, and no matter what kind of player you are, you will love it.
As Magic's first plane and the setting for literally dozens of sets that followed, Dominaria is home to some of Magic's most beloved and iconic characters. Let's
they
learn more
resetting?
about these fan favorites and how the team approached them for Dominaria United.
So Dominaria is a plane full of legends,
Mhm,
legendary creatures, legendary planeswalkers. And now we have a Johnny, we're gonna see Karn, we're gonna see Jaya and Joyra, and just so many amazing faces where if you
Let's
have
go.
been following
More
along with Magic
Karens?
for a while, you're
I love
definitely
it.
gonna see some familiar faces. Liliana is also nearby, so we're gonna get to see what's going on with Liliana. Why is she here?
So one of the cool things about Dominaria.
Yeah, she was a teacher. What happened? Did she just abandon all of her students? The fuck's that all about?
Is when we go back, we kind of pick some choice cards to reprint back into standard. With Liliana, we wanted to show that, yeah, she's been here. She's been on Dominaria for a long time. Well, how about we take her Innistrad version, her most iconic version of the character, and show, oh yeah, she's here on Dominaria too, in her most iconic form.
Right, definitely.
I heard this was a good card. Did the price of this card tank? Liliana of the Veil. Or Veil. Pricing. Some people knew that this was coming out a little bit ago. Meow. Meow. The price went up? Oh, I guess price would go up for a little bit. I guess it would go up for a little bit. Just because everyone wants to buy it.
The most powerful.
Wait, what does she do? Spike because it'll be standard legal? Yeah. And now it's an Explorer. Oh, that's right, that format. Was it not in Pioneer? Is Jace the Mind Sculptor in Pioneer? Please no. Each player discards a card, target player sacks. Separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. That player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of their choice. What? I think Vale and Jace are just Legacy. Really? Not even in Modern?
Liliana card we've ever made.
By a long shot. And that ultimate is just backbreaking, right? You ultimate it and they separate the permanents into 2 piles, and then disaster strikes from there. Do not sleep on this card. I don't know how you could. It's so powerful.
So if you've been following Magic for a long time, you're
It's Modern legal?
very
Okay.
familiar with the Raven Man, and we're bringing back the Raven Man for this set.
The Raven Man. The beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a 1/1 black burb creature token flying, and this creature can't block. 4 tap. Okay.
And it's cool we get to bring this old character players love from flavor attacks into a current
More discard decks.
setting. And so as we're making Dominaria
Fantastic.
United, we got to pull from all of the fan favorite things from
Fantastic.
around Magic history and put them into a set. Pretty cool.
So Squee is a goblin.
Hell yeah,
He
let's
was
go,
the
Squee.
cabin boy on board the skyship Weatherlight, and he was super annoying. He was this character who was always getting into trouble, but somehow he never got killed, even though he was constantly in horrible danger. The story writers wrote that into the story, that he had been transformed by Phyrexian science into an immortal that just kept healing whenever he died.
So one thing we see on Squee's card that's really cool is he's holding his toy, right? He's got this thing called Squeeze toy. He picked it up a long time ago when he was
Prevent 1 damage to any creature. Oh, they can't even make that anymore. Because damage isn't on the stack, right? So 3 mana 2/2 haste. Whenever it attacks, create a 1/1 red Gobo. Tap to attacking. Okay. Wonderful. You may cast Squee from your graveyard by paying 4 and exiling 4 of the cards from your graveyard.
traveling the planes.
All right,
Just
we
how
like
he
it.
brought it all the way with him and has it now in Dominaria. Every character we visit has a bit of themselves that they have brought to Dominaria with them. You know, we look at Jorah, a character who helped command the
2 mana 2/3. Put 2 ingenuity counters on Giora. Then you may put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of ingenuity counters on Giora. It doesn't have haste, but it's still pretty good. Huh.
Weatherlight. She's still here. She's still kicking.
She's one of the greatest genius artificers of Dominarian history, and we really see that reflected in the card mechanic here, where she's sort of building up more and more knowledge and then building more and more powerful artifacts. as the game
2/3 for
goes
blue
on.
red is good.
Zer, Eternal Schemer.
Reading through the
Esper, 1/4 flying. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof? Ugh. Ugh. Target non-aura enchantment you control becomes target... no, wait, hold on. Target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness, each equal to its mana value. Okay. So this would be good with something like the Omens, probably? animated haphazard bombardment. I don't want to run 4-color haphazard bombardment, but also hilarious.
Old novels, it was clear that like somewhere in the background of all the action, Xur was trying to become immortal. Everyone kind of thought that was crazy. But look at how many people have become immortal in Dominaria. It just happens sometimes. We're not even going to explain how Xur became immortal. We just know it happened.
To see the through line from
We're not going to explain it because it doesn't have to make sense anyway.
the old Xur card to this one, right? The original search your deck for enchantments, put them into play. This new one also deals with enchantments, but it has a little twist, right? It animates your enchantments, which is technology that existed at the time but wasn't used super heavily. And we put them into play. This new one also deals with enchantments, but it has a little twist, right? It animates your enchantments, which is technology that existed at the time but wasn't
wonder people are afraid of technology. Technology!
used super heavily, and we've seen more and more and more as time has gone on. So it's cool that we get to kind of take this old card, make a new
Why would you
version
make
of it,
Heli out
and
of
use a bit
3/3?
cool new design technology to bring it
It's
to life.
better than just sitting there doing
for Dominaria
nothing.
United, one of my responsibilities on play design was play testing for standard and limited. The end goal is just make a really fun standard environment.
Reanimating
So
enchantments is
one of the
new
cards we play
technology,
tested
yeah.
was Solkanar, and I remember back, when I was younger, this card was a reprint in the Time Spiral bonus sheet, and
Swamp Walk, are we bringing it back?
I remember playing this card like quite a bit in limited specifically. Like I think I top 8'd a PTQ or something with this card. So one inspiration.
Okay. Solkanar the Taint. 5/5 at the beginning of your end step. Choose one that hasn't been chosen. Okay, it's a choose your own adventure. Draw a card. Opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Deals 3 damage to up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker. Return to the battlefield under an opponent's control. What the fuck is this? If this was like 3 mana, probably. A sack before exile? Yeah, but it's 5 mana. It's 5 mana. If you're playing a Grixis sacrifice deck and you have to wait. Yeah, again, if this was like 3 mana, it would probably be good. But 5? You have to wait like till turn 8. And you use an entire turn at 5 mana to even play this. This just seems... like, if it was a 10/10 flying indestructible, yeah, sure.
For this Solkanar was the card Demonic Pact, which is an enchantment that has...
Yeah. See, it's kind of like this, but it's more expensive and worse. You know?
3 really cool abilities. You do one every turn, and then at the end of the 3 abilities, you lose the game. So this is a take on Demonic Pact. It has 3 like really cool, powerful abilities, and then when you're done using these 3 abilities...
It's the alchemy rework.
you have to give the card away to your opponent.
Did somebody say that? Really? I love you, Melissa. The incel nonsense in this. What? This person's not in my community, right? Okay. I have to make sure. Okay. And what if they were? I would publicly shame them. Probably tell them to stop being fucking disgusting. And embarrassing. Most likely tell them to stop embarrassing my community. And possibly ban them if I have to. Dude, incels are fucking annoying as shit. Although I don't really know Melissa, so maybe they're married. Who knows? But that's why I would have to shame them first. But I have no problem. If people are being fucking disgusting in my channel, we deal with it. Especially if it's a friend of the stream. Like, there's been people who have been gross like that to some of the other female streamers that are part of our community. And I had to, like, sit them down and, like, tell some shit.
Opponent. One of the problems we faced with Solkanar.
They don't say they love famous people all the time. Doesn't seem that weird. Is she famous? She seems like just a regular worker at WotC. It's just gross behavior. She's MTG famous? I've never heard her. I've never heard of her. She was a Pro Tour player. Who Megalol?
Was that the game was ending before we gave it to the opponent. We had to like really be careful with the abilities we chose, because if you make them too powerful,
Like I said, if I love you, Strider, is that creepy? No, because it's you saying it to me. If you said it to me when I was on a recorded video in a different stream, it would be a bit creepy. But if I was live streaming and then you said it to me, it would still be a little weird, but usually I riff off of it.
before the opponent gets the Solkanar, and if you make them too weak, then maybe nobody's going to play the cards.
We heard about Lord Windgrace.
But she's not like a public figure, from what I understand. I mean, maybe she is.
All the way back in the
know.
day in some old novels, and then really showed up in
It's fucking
earnest in
cringe.
the Invasion block.
In the storyline, Lord Windgrace was a fierce foe.
But we love you. Yeah, see, it's fine if you're when I'm here. And if you're saying it in like a normal way, it's there is a difference, and you should understand that. If you don't know that there is a difference between somebody saying it in a video that is clearly like meaning it in a creepy way, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. You can tell. It's like obvious.
Of the Phyrexians.
What up,
He
Curly
gave
Fries?
his
Did I
life to
miss you?
save the
Sure.
Multiverse, but he invested some of his soul into the land of Urborg, his homeland, to return in the hour of need, in Urborg's hour of need. Well, the Phyrexians are back, and so Windgrace's avatar has risen back up and is going to do battle against the Phyrexians one more time.
Who?
And I think
Phyrexians are back. Some of his
I missed like
in
this
the
whole
Invasion
thing.
block.
Or we gave it to the opponent. We had to like really be
Trying to understand your thought process. Well, I don't typically ban people. Even when they do stuff like that, I don't like if people say that stuff in my chat, like I said, I try to sit them down and try to understand their thought process as to why they would say something like that. Like if this person said it, I would be like if they said it in the stream while we were watching this now, like if somebody was like, I love you, Melissa. I mean, like, why? Why do you feel the need to even say that publicly? Number one, do you know her? Number two, are you like there's so many questions. There's so many questions, right? If you're openly being cringe about it, I don't know if I really want you in my community. It's fine if you want to stay in the community. Just don't say shit like that in my community because it's fucking cringe.
be careful with the abilities we chose, because if you make them too powerful, then the game's going to end before the opponent gets the Solkanar. And
I think I'm starting to understand your view. We love you. Would it be good though? Yeah. See, that's fine. It's fine on that way. It's just when it gets to the like, I'm jacking off to you, love you thing. It's when it switches to that is where it kind of gets creepy unless there's an established relationship beforehand. But in general, I can almost guarantee you that that person does not know this person in any way, shape, or form. Like, no communication. They have not talked before. Like, none of that. See, we actually have a back and forth here. We also have DMs, Discord, like all that stuff. There is some type of relationship, you know? So it's not as bad, you know? And if it really bothered me, I would tell you, you know? Because I'm not fucking weird, right? Yeah, because obviously I do a lot of like sexual stuff here and sexual innuendos and all that stuff is fine. I have no problems with that. It's just I'm really protective about certain people in in my community. Like, if they don't want it to happen to them, I protect them. But if they, it sounds bad, if they bring it on themselves, then it's fine. But like, so if some other girl in the community says, oh, it's cool if you do this, and I actually know it's actually cool, like if they're flirting back with other people, then it's fine. I have zero problems. Girls do it all the time, but when guys do it, it's bad? No. If girls were doing that, it'd still be kind of cringe. Like, there was, like, if a guy does it a lot in another guy's stream, it's still cringe again. If they don't know each other and it's super separated. Like, it's fucking weird. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I guess I would have to, I think I would probably have to sit down and think, like really, really, really think about it to explain every single aspect of why I feel that way. Because I do feel that way. It's not some type of social pressure bullshit. It has nothing to do with that. It is a legitimate feeling because I don't give a fuck about the social pressure stuff. Like, somebody on Twitter, I think it was there was a girl and then like 2 trans people that were basically trying to cancel me on Twitter. And they were doing some bullshit, right? And so I was like quote tweeting them, screenshotting them, and saying all this bullshit back to them. I was like, this motherfucker, I can't believe you would say some shit like that. Like, I'll go all out. I don't give a fuck who you are. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're going to come for me, I'm going to go right back. Like, none of that matters to me. But I still have, like, that feeling. It's cringe, but it's also very normal. Not really to say it in an open setting. It's just, there's a time and place for stuff, you know? But that's why we have the dicks command,
And
right?
if you make them too weak, then maybe nobody's going to play the cards.
We heard about Lord Windgrace all the way back in the day.
Lord Windgrace? Is that not a Johnny? Discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Return up to 2 target land cards from a graveyard to the battlefield. Destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents. Then create 6/2/2. Lame.
And then really showed up in earnest in the invasion block.
In the storyline, Lord Windgrace was a fierce foe of the Phyrexians. He gave his life to save the multiverse, but he invested some of his soul into the land of Urborg, his homeland, to return.
It's commander card, not
in
Dominaria.
The Hour of Need, in Urborg's Hour of Need. Well, the Phyrexians are back. And so Windgrace's avatar has risen back up and is going to do battle against the Phyrexians.
What if I started? I don't know.
And I think it's really cool that this...
Okay. 4 mana, 5/4. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. Discard a land card, you gain 3 life. Discard a land card, draw a card. Discard a land card, it gains indestructible till end of turn, tap it. So it's kind of like a poor man's Underrealm Lich and Gitrog Monster in the same card.
Card 2 keys off of lands, right? Just like the commander card did,
Kind
right?
of.
So we created this identity for this old character. Dominaria, riffing on that history yet again, looks at this commander card and says, oh, he's going to do stuff with lands this time around, which feels so fitting for Windgrace. I mean, given what he does.
It's good to have a mechanical
But John, I mean, those other cards are Golgari, so.
through line between different incarnations.
Yeah, it
of the
seems
same
like you could do some
character so
shit.
that everything feels cohesive.
It's a 5/4 for 4. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Something that we do at Magic to really make the opening experience.
Card is
even
poopy, right?
more
Looks
exciting
poopy.
than it already
It
is.
might be able to
Everybody
do
wants
some
open the
shit,
booster
but I don't
packs,
know.
But we really want to give these
Why are they in a warehouse?
extra special moments visually different enough from the rest of the cards
Some recording
to like
studio.
give that little extra sauce. And we work really hard with all of the people that make the game to have those moments be really strongly themed to the setting. We really wanted to get at the reverence and the historic aspect of returning to this plane, which is like a favorite place for the fans and a favorite place for the story, is we realized that stained glass art was the way to go because it had this reverence, this epic, holy luminosity that really gave us a lot of fun space to make some beautiful pieces of art.
You love the stained glass lands?
And what really clicked for us is when we imagined what is the chapel where this piece of stained glass would live. We used this treatment to highlight some of the legendary, really important creatures like Raf Capuchin. And in the Solkanar piece, not only do you have this like hulking monster.
See, like, I would much rather have this one than this one.
You can look in the background and you see
She's
these,
in a
like,
gang with those
repeating,
tats. Yeah,
almost
we all are.
fractals that she's created out of like organic tree shapes. Daniel did such an amazing job on poor Squee. It's such a beautiful piece.
Let's go, Squee.
Gave a lot of pathos to this beloved character. Gave him his little moment with his little buddy on.
Last few said the Ashiok alternate art. The Ashiok Japanese art was probably the best art I've ever seen. This shit was so sick. Holy fuck. This is fucking sick. I'm all about this. Yeah, I wish this was an arena. I wish. It's also one of my favorite Ashioks. Ashiok is my favorite planeswalker, though. So I'm kind of biased. Ashiok's so sick.
Hill of Skulls.
So in order to help you cast...
I need to bring back the... I don't even know how to say that word. Looking art in MTG. Looks like he's about to drop some beats, dude. Wait, Ashiok is just a thing. Ashiok is an it, right? Just an... Ashiok is a nightmare. Angrath is yours? Big Daddy Angrath is pretty sick. Did they really bring back Lily the Veil? Yeah.
Some of these powerful multicolor legendary creatures.
He, they. I don't think it's a they. It's not a human. It's not a... It's just a thing. It's asexual, for sure. Painlands?
We've included some of the Painlands. These are lands that you can tap them for colorless mana.
Don't these cost like a shit ton of money?
Or you can tap them for one of two colors, but you will take damage when you do that. So many of the names refer to specific locations in Dominaria.
Caves of Koilos, one of those iconic locations in Magic. The Kickstarter did the whole
That art's sick.
Brothers War.
Right.
Can't go on Mirrodin. You can't put that in Ravnica. It's got to be right here. And we've wanted to use
Orzhov
Painlands
is
a lot
my jam. They come into play untapped. Yeah, exactly.
The past several years.
Poke lands from a sold player.
can't go on
True.
Wildlands, you know? You can't
That's
put
what
these
they were
cards
called.
on any other plane.
I forgot
So
about
Dominaria
that.
was just the
That's what
perfect
they
time to bring
were.
them back. It brings that nostalgia back, right? When
Pokey
you clean up your
pokey.
standard deck, and it has 4 copies of Yavimaya Coast in it. You're like, I remember doing.
There were so many cheaters with that card. Was that the reason I quit the first time? I don't remember. There were so many cheaters with those cards. They wouldn't take the life loss from it.
Doing this when I was playing Blue Green Madness back in
Because they would just tap their lands and not like count out the colors. So if they were short a color, they wouldn't actually take the life loss. It was fucking ridiculous.
2003. I played 4 copies of Yavimaya Coast.
Awkward.
And again, I can sleeve them up and have that
You're definitely a cheater. You seem like the type. Yeah. Now I remember.
But that
Now I
design
remember.
comes into play again, right? Where a newer
No, I gifted Beast a sub in John's stream because they said land destruction is tier 0, which is true.
player's just gonna see sweet, some man fixing dual lands, love it, put it in my deck.
Of course, one of the best parts of a world chock full of legendary creatures is that it opens
The
up
only
all
tier that
sorts of
matters.
fresh options for your commander decks. Let's take a look at what the Dominaria United Commander lineup has to offer. Check out some cards you won't find in the main set, and hear from some of the designers and playtesters about how these cards got made.
Jared is the...
I feel like I would love Commander way more than every other format. I just wish it was on Arena. Even then. I really just want them to remake the client.
Of the Magic the Gathering comic book series from the mid-90s, and we never made a card for him before. So I was like, oh, this would be so cool. We should make a Jared Carthalion card.
And so we saw him on flavor text in Modern Horizons 1, I think, right? That was his first intro into actual, like, paper Magic. Right. And then we worked on Commander Legends, we made a card for him. And then this time around in Dominaria...
Commander is fun, but I wish they would stop dumping so much product into it. It seems a bit much.
Graduated all the way up to show up in a main set with this Commander deck face card.
In the storyline...
It's a Wooburg. Create a 3/3 creature token with trample. That's all colors. Oh. Wait, we could play this with... Is it 2 mana? It's a white enchantment that you, like, win the game if you have permanent of all color and, like, some stuff in your graveyard of all colors, and it's like Happily Ever After? Is that what it is? Yeah. You could use this with Happily Ever After. Although this isn't an arena, so you can't, but never mind.
And once Jared mastered all 5...
I hate getting excited over cards like this. Just 2 target creatures. For each one of them, put a +1/+1 counters equal to the number of colors on it. Put 5 +1/+1 counters? Jesus. Turn target multicolored card from your graveyard to your hand. If that card was all colors, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. That's ridiculous.
5 colors of magic, his Planeswalker spark ignited and he became a powerful force like gods. Jared is still around. He survived the Planeswalker war that happened, and he's helping out the
Is he talking about War of the Spark? Talking about War of the Spark, right? Jared wasn't at War of the Spark. So, okay, it wasn't War of the Spark. Following events waver shortly before the Phyrexian invasion. The war is triggered by blah blah blah. Such as powerful blah 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 blah. Okay.
He's sort of a secret agent and rescuing people who are in dangerous situations and such like that. You kind of tell he's part of the coalition because he has all 5 colors of mana in his mana cost, and he's working with the Kavu.
Obviously.
The thing that's cool to me is it's not just
anything that's
creatures.
5 colors
Dominaria
obviously
and
makes
Magic
them a
in
part
general
of
have so many
the
cool legendary
coalition.
objects around the history that Dahada plays not just with your legendary creatures.
Dahada, up to 1 target legendary creature gains Vigi, Life, Indy until next turn. +3. Why is there so much text? Reveal top 4 cards of your library. Put any number of legendary cards from among them into your hand. The rest into your graveyard. Create a treasure token for each card put into your graveyard this way. Why treasures everywhere? That I feel like that doesn't even make sense. Like, why treasures? Gain control of all non-land permanents until end of turn. Untap them. They can what the fuck? See, this would be great. You could use this with the Bolas's Citadel. There we go. This with Bolas's Citadel. Because then you just sacrifice all the permanents and just blow people the fuck up. You attack everybody for all the damage, and then you sack them all.
But you want to look at every legendary artifact you can find. My favorite when I was playtesting the deck was looking for all the legendary
Yeah, that's a free tip for all you Commander players out there.
lands. You're like, hey, those actually are really good with the Dahada. You can find them with her.
Just
and do
the
all kinds
tip,
of cool
though.
Stuff. So it makes you care about legendary in particular. And that I thought was a fun little twist on something that feels a lot different from other cards we've done in the past. So you'll notice on both these Planeswalkers, Jared and Dahada, they have ways to help make sure the game goes forward, right?
What are
Either
the
they're building up this
odds
huge ultimate,
that
which will
this
probably win the
lasts
game, or they're putting counters on creatures, or helping your stuff attack.
For
Stuff that
11
makes the game
loyalty
move forward.
in a
One of the
commander
things I
game.
always like to imagine is when
0?
the next set comes out, which cards are people going to get excited to add to their deck? Like when
I'm
the
thinking
next
0.
card is printed, everyone's going to look at it. Does this go with Jared? When the next legendary creature is printed, does this go in my Dihada deck? I just love creating these
thinking
themes
0.
that can help players to get excited about what we're going to release in the future.
So I've been playing Magic for about 25 years, and I
Jesus
remember when I
Christ.
first started seeing all these just
That's
legends
older
with
than
no
most people who
abilities,
even
vanilla
play Magic
legends,
now. Oh, I guess
you know,
not.
and never really understood why they were.
Only 25? Lol. Commander is best. Haters. She made top 8, guy. Why is this? She was like, I love this card. I remember it was the first card that got me top 8 in a GP. And then everyone's like dogging on her. They're like, oh my god, she made top 8. It's fine. Listen to her. She made top 8. What? Maybe I should never share any of my Magic stories. It's like, I won my first tournament with this card. You like this card? Everybody listen up. You made a tournament winning. Community of neckbeards, yeah. But that's why these people aren't in my community. That's the best part. The best part is that this is the Magic community and not my community.
Were so cool, but everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this Jasmine Boreal's awesome." So
She made Oko? All right, if she made Oko, fuck her. And I hope her kids never learn to read.
flash forward to Dominaria United, and we're doing these new box toppers of all these old legends reinterpreted, and they were going to be, one in every box.
Self-aware neckbeards? Yeah, I mean, we don't discriminate. You can have neckbeard all you want. Just don't have a goatee. Goatees are for people who can't truly commit.
Be like unique thing.
Magic banned me from chat. They banned me a couple times. They didn't like the lava lamp. They didn't like the lava lamp at all. Because I posted it and someone was like, that doesn't look like a lava lamp. And I wrote, hashtag not a butt plug, and I got banned. It was very rude. But it is a lava lamp. I know!
For booster boxes, we haven't really done.
Pack looks like a Willy Wonka bar. Does it? Does it though? Does it though? Just feels like a chocolate bar. Okay. Same vibe. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, I could see that. It has Willy Wonka chocolate bar vibes.
So
yeah.
we have Stang Echo Warrior. It's
A Stang Echo Warrior. 4 mana, 3/4. When it attacks, create a 3/4 red and green human warrior creature token, enters battlefield tapped and attacking. For each aura and equipment attached to Stang, create a token that's a copy of it attached to the Stang twin. Sacrifice all tokens created this way at the beginning of the next end step. Interesting. You dropped a Stang an hour ago? What does a Wonka bar taste like? I want one. Yeah. Okay. Has anyone had one of the Mr. Beast candy bars? Like the chocolate bars? Because the Beast burgers aren't really that bad. I've definitely had worse. But I haven't had the chocolate bar or whatever. I don't really like chocolate at all. But I am interested to see if anyone's had it and what it's like. Somebody who's not a paid actor.
a 2 red-green for a legendary creature human warrior, and it's a 3/4.
Look how much text this has. If it has more than 3, my general rule of thumb, if it has more than 3 lines of text, I'll read it when it fucks me.
It was important that Stang Twin made a copy of himself.
It's worked so far.
a new Stang because that was reminiscent of the old Stang. But we had to find a new thing for it to do that was just kind of.
You got Mr. Beast street fries that was legitimately thin fries with yellow mustard and pickle chips. What? I don't remember it. I don't think I've had that one. Questing Beast too much Bitcoin. Yeah. And I only read Questing Beast once it fucked me. Miss out what was my Tinder rule? Tinder rule is, what were my Tinder rules? If they don't have any pictures with any of their friends, that's a big one. I don't remember. It's been so long. I'd have to look at Tinder profiles to remember. But that's a huge one. If girl has no friends, you are her only friend. It's same with a guy. If you have it's same for anybody. If you're on a dating site and you only have pictures of yourself, they're only selfies, you're not going to get any matches. You need to make sure you have pictures with other people in them, or at the very least, you need to have someone else take pictures of you. Never have a selfie. Ever. No selfies. 0 selfies. All right?
Kind of like
tip from me to you.
Deck building hook. So one of the things that sounded cool was auras and equipment because one.
Isn't it weird to put your friend's face on a dating site though? You can scratch off their faces.
It's pretty fun to build around, and two, in.
Yeah, I mean, you can pose with like your family or something, your brothers or sisters or whatever, because it just shows that you have relationships. You're able to hold a relationship. Does that make sense? Because if you're on Tinder and you can't even prove that you have any type of relationships, you're just going to come off as a rapist by default. Get good at Photoshop.
In red green, you don't often get the auras and equipment built around.
Yes. Here's how you do it. Take the picture, MS Paint, paste. Boom. I was like, where is it? No. Brushes. Size, boom. White. Upload picture. Easy. So no friends equals rapist? No, not necessarily. It's you have to have somebody else in the picture. Because if you have nobody else in any of your pictures, people are going to be naturally on guard. On guard. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean. So people are going to look at your pictures and they're just going to be like, okay, they're going to look for many things when they're trying to talk with you. They're going to be like, okay, can this person hold down a conversation? If you can hold down a conversation, most likely you have friends or you're communicating with other people on a regular basis. So if you are communicating with people on a regular basis, you're taking pictures with these people, whether it's at birthday parties, holidays, just randomly, something. And especially if you're on a dating site, you want to put yourself out there. You want to be able to show that if you're going to put your intimate details on a dating site, if you're not going to show the fact that you can have any type of relationship, why would anyone want to contact you and talk to you about having a sexual relationship? What if you don't like people? Then you're probably not on Tinder. Or you are, in fact, the rapist that I was talking about. I'm telling you. So right now, if you're on a dating site and you're not getting many hits or not getting many matches, just do one thing. Change one thing. Your pictures. Get people to take pictures of you. One of the best things, talk to somebody who is a photographer.
You know I'm bad.
Woo!
I'm bad. Oh, I'm drunk.
Stop it. Get somebody to take pictures of you. Talk with a photographer, somebody who knows how to take pictures so that they can help you with the lighting, make sure everything is okay, so that you legitimately look good. Try to take pictures with other people. Take pictures of you doing activities that you genuinely enjoy doing. So if you like drinking, get a picture taken of you at a bar, like cheersing with your friends or something like that. Like, it's just things of that nature. Show that you're able to have fun. Show that you're able to hold down some type of relationship. Show that you're going out of your way to put effort into meeting somebody. Get smashed, vomit, have a friend take a picture. Yeah. See, that could work. That's funny. And you could even put that in your profile. You could be like, I haven't gotten this drunk in a really long time, so don't judge me.
So it gave like something unique for a new color combination to do in Commander. Here is.
Yeah. But if you're taking a bathroom selfie, it's like, yo, so light. Well, you don't have to say that. But if you're just trying to fuck somebody, like Tinder, then
Savitri Dragon Master.
invent an interesting persona. Bathroom selfie in a dirty mirror? Yeah, exactly. If you have 0 relationships, like if you have 0 family, 0 friends, and you can't Google how to take pictures, then it's going, and you have 0 hobbies, it is going to be a struggle for sure. And so those are things you definitely want to try to work on. Orphans can't Tinder. Do you not have other orphans with you? Can orphans not make friends? What are these brain dead comments? What is happening?
2 UB for a Planeswalker, Savitri.
Savitri? Until your next turn, creatures can't attack unless you are planeswalkers you control. Controller pays 2 life for each of those creatures. That's kind of funny. Check can't get laid. Sure you can. Odd color combos. Yeah. It's weird to have a bunch of dragons in not red. Got your hand? Hey.
Savitri is a super
Gotta do what
unique
you gotta
card
do.
because it's telling you to build a dragon tribal deck in a color combination that's not very typical for a dragon tribal deck. Blue-black, you know? There are not even really that many blue-black dragon cards in Magic, you know? So if you are building this deck, you are, you know, really doing something special here. The card is pretty cool. It does have like the qualities of a commander. It's like a super special character. So in the end, we thought, hey, it will be cool. And also, Magic's going to be around for a very
Great advice, but you're forgetting the most important part. Be 6 foot. The thing is, if the worst part is if you're like 5'10", it sucks because every guy who's like 5'10" lies and says they're 6 foot. So in your profile, if you say I'm 5'10", legitimately not lying, that might help you.
very long time.
Or if you are 6 foot, just say I'm 6 foot, not 6'10". I'm not lying. You talk to any girl that's been on Tinder, they'll tell you.
You will print more blue and black dragons.
Not sure you're under 6 foot, but was born with the gift of being socially funny and able to talk. Yeah, but what if 5 foot? It can work. You just have to be able to do that stuff. You always have to be able to have a conversation. You used to get a bunch of Reddit notifications for Tinder things when you're always a girl being like, what's your height? And the girl responds for what's your weight. I do remember that. I have seen a few of those, which I still think is funny. I'm not going to lie. To be fair, I would probably say the same exact thing just because I wouldn't want to get with a girl that says something like that. If you care that much about somebody's height, I'm just going to fuck with you.
One of the most exciting things for me about Dominaria United, I mean, there's so much cool stuff, but I love these
I don't care.
legends that are on the top of every box.
You're
Like,
like,
it's
oh, immutable characteristics? You can change your weight. I can't change my height.
so cool because it brings back all these
Don't
old
try to
characters
fuck
from
around.
Legends we get to see again in new forms. And if you were played back in the day or you're
Box
a student of
toppers,
Magic
no
lore,
way.
you look at this card and it is a piece of Magic history, a through line from Legends all the way to today.
What's your shoe size?
Now, getting back to the cards you'll be seeing in the main set.
Ooh, another
well,
walking
let's
on a
just say
frame.
Heroes aren't the
Love
only
it.
ones making history on Dominaria. The plane has its share of old enemies, and once again, there's something sinister bubbling up behind the scenes. Once, Dominaria was able to thwart an invasion by the mechanical horrors known as the Phyrexians. But now, Phyrexia has returned, with their sights set on making the plane and everything in it complete.
Do we get
Let's find out more
poisons?
about what they have in mind for Dominaria and the rest of the multiverse.
Back on Dominaria, a very long time ago, the Phyrexians were able to utilize.
Is Tezzeret completed? Tezzeret was a failed experiment, right?
essentially a portal to come through, and they really wreaked havoc. And as we open our story, Karn, very long,
up behind
She's wearing a different outfit?
In it, Dominaria
utilize
invasions.
Where?
All a piece of magic.
Dominaria as the Phyrexians. But now, Phyrexia has returned with their sights set on making the plane and everything in it complete.
No, he's just an
Let's find out
asshole.
more
Well,
about
he's
what
like
they have
all
in mind for
mechy
Dominaria
and stuff.
and the rest of the multiverse.
back on Dominaria, very long time.
I would assume if anyone wants to be perfected, it would be Tezzeret, right? Except Tezzeret would then be probably a slave to the Phyrexians at that point.
Time ago, the Phyrexians were able to utilize essentially a portal to come through, and they really wreaked havoc. And as we open our story, Karn is on Dominaria because
Ethereum
he
from
truly
Esper?
believes that the Phyrexians have come back, but he doesn't have any proof. So we start off with Karn looking for that proof, and boy, oh boy, does he find it pretty
Phyrexians.
immediately. So Karn quickly finds
Let's go, Karen.
Shieldred,
4 mana Praetor? Wow.
which is terrifying.
Shieldred, like that big ass snake thingy? Karn made them? Karn made the Phyrexians? Is that what happened? Death Touch. When you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. That's kind of disgusting. Yeah, you thought she was a spider. Now she's a centipede, right? Yeah, this is disgusting. But this isn't Commander now. This is back to the regular set. Because Commander had a different set icon. They keep going back and forth between games, sets, and formats. And it's kind of confusing, I'm not going to lie.
Shieldred not only controls those around her that have also been completed, but can come apart into tiny little pieces and just crawl all over you like spiders. There's nothing more horrifying. The Shieldred around her find it pretty immediately. So Karn quickly finds freaking Shieldred, which is terrifying. Shieldred not only controls those around her that have also been completed, but can come apart into tiny little
Shieldred can control the things that have been completed. Because every Phyrexian can?
pieces and just crawl all over you like spiders. There's nothing more horrifying.
The Shieldred card is a pretty special moment in the set because it's
This looks like Ashiok almost. And I wish the Phyrexian version had different artwork as well.
What
That artwork
Joe
is fucking
did with
fire
his
though.
Composition, he really nailed it with both this like kind of poisonous color palette, which really is unsettling, and with these
Yeah,
kind
Chris
of, like,
fucking killed
shadowy
that shit.
figures that he has in the front, just really giving her this moment to revel in her evilness.
So after Karn meets up with Shieldred and attempts to defeat her, she's able to escape. Thankfully, Ajani comes to the rescue.
Yeah, I need
and
infect.
They are able to travel to where
Ajani came to the rescue.
Dominaria,
Let's
and
go,
warn
Ajani.
the leaders that, hey, there's some Phyrexians here and we need to watch out. But of course, with
What the fuck is Ajani gonna do? Ajani's like the weakest planeswalker, right? Ajani's like, don't worry, I'll save you, Captain Save-A-Ho. He's just like, he can't do shit.
Phyrexians come Phyrexian sleeper agents, and you don't know who you can trust. Which takes us to Banalish Sleeper.
Wait, is it Banalish or Benalish? I always said Benalish. Okay, apparently I'm an idiot. Kicker black. When it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, each player. Okay.
So Dominaria is a beautiful plane. It's really accented by all this
The
stained
way she
glass.
said it?
It has these airy blues, these pastoral greens, but all of a sudden, you don't know who you can trust. These sleeper agents could be anywhere, but there are also very obvious in-your-face examples of this. And with
So they completed humans and stuff too, not just planeswalkers.
that takes us to Defiler of Dreams.
5 mana, 4/3 flying is additional cost. Cast Blue permanent spells. You may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 less to cast if you pay life this way. What? Come on. What is this? No. Oh, blue, they tapped out. Cap, counterspell.
So now our planeswalkers are faced with not only sleeper agents, but outright Phyrexians and Shieldred herself. So we're gonna get to see our planeswalkers go up against the Phyrexians and
Look at the bottom text. Yeah, whenever you cast a blue permanent spell, draw a card. Yeah. At least it's permanent. This effect reduces only the amount of blue mana you pay. Oh, yeah, it's wait. Hold on, hold on. It's additional cost to cast blue permanent spell. Oh, okay, yeah, RTFC. Well, fine. It's 2 mana. What's the enchantment that with flash, when it enters the battlefield, it exiles a spell and they can't cast that spell anymore? Ashiok's Erasure. That one. Yes. There you go. It's 8 mana Ashiok, 8 life Ashiok's Erasure. There we go. That's only 4. Yeah. As an additional cost to cast blue permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 less if you pay life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of blue mana you pay. Oh, it would be 2 colorless and 4 life? Wait. Oh no, so it'd be 3. So it... Okay, hold on. Can you pay 4 life to reduce it by 2 blue? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't... Maybe no? Only the amount of blue mana. And it's only blue mana used, so you'd still have to pay 2 colorless. Card isn't as good as it seems. Yeah, never mind.
and really try to wipe them out before they have the chance to potentially make it off of Dominaria.
I think it was much better than I thought it was. All right, never mind.
Dominaria's long legacy means it's
Yep, walk into frame every single time.
also try to wipe them out before they have the chance to potentially make it off of Dominaria. I mean, the whole multiverse is at stake here.
Hey, it's me, Jimmy Luaus.
Players have first been introduced to some
Magic cards are awesome.
of the game's most tried and true mechanics.
Yeah, for real. No,
Domain mechanic.
I don't even really like
represents the
Butterfingers, but
power
I want
of
to
unifying all 5
Butterfingers.
colors of magic together against the Phyrexians. Dominaria's diversity and the broad base of its coalition.
You wish most girls were like what? Like Trey Luaus? What the fuck?
Was the key to victory against the Phyrexians in the first invasion.
It really helps make this a return to an invasion to bring back an invasion mechanic. And now
Let's
it's
go,
back with
invasion.
rightful home in Dominaria with the ability to
Trample?
domain, throwing
Trample's
back to
coming back.
What we played in invasion.
Ability words are an example of a design.
Base power is equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control.
Technology innovation that had
Dominaria.
when the original invasion block was made.
Girl stuffs chocolate in her breast pocket as a keeper.
It might be the best mechanic ever. It's so simple. Everybody can understand that I get something, I pay this much, or I can pay more and I get this much better. Now the effect that that has on a game
of technology.
game of Magic is huge because Kicker gives you the ability to play both early and late, mid-game and late. And that to me increases the quality.
Yeah,
of the
Trample's coming
games that
back.
you play,
Meta's going to change
which
so
goes
much.
beyond just how good the card
It's
is.
ridiculous.
The other thing you'll hear shorthand a lot is, hey, there's a new mechanic. That's a variant of Kicker, right? It looks like Kicker because Kicker is the fundamental core of pay a little or pay a lot and have the effect scale. And
Okay. I'm
any
ready.
set with Kicker, I'm in.
I'm ready.
Archangel of Wrath, 2 white for a 3/4 creature Angel of
Okay, 4 mana, 3/4. Okay, kicker of 1. Okay, flying lifelink when it enters battlefield. If it was kicked, deal 2 damage. If it was kicked, oh, it's a multi-kicker. Oh, but you can only kick it twice. Okay. If it was kicked twice, deals 2 damage. Okay. So you can deal 4 damage to any target. It could be a 6 mana, 3/4 flying lifelink dealing 4 damage.
Rare with flying and lifelink, but it also has kicker for black and or red. So you could pay 6 mana, do 2
Oh my
damage
gosh,
spread
6
out as
mana.
you choose,
Let's
and have
go.
a 3/4 flying lifelink left over.
I mean,
is this card for real?
This card seems
Yeah, her face is a bit.
totally insane. So, I mean, just the baseline, right, of a 4 mana 3/4 flying lifelinker. I'm
We should get this as an emote.
already in, but of course, now you also have that flexibility of you can play this in your white-black deck or your
She needs a Butterfinger right here.
white-red deck. I mean, you can just play this in your white deck, right? Now, keep in mind,
It's easy.
This also has lifelink, and this is the
This is the art of my ex-wife when I stuff Butterfingers in my pocket. Rude.
creature doing the damage. So what that means is when you deal 2 damage to something, you're also gaining the 2 life.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's a giant life-linking flyer that can potentially kill 2 things and gain you 4 life.
Wow.
What if you gave it Death Touch?
Read Ahead is a new ability found on Saga cards.
Read ahead. Why don't more reading? What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh? What the? Choose a chapter and start with that many lore counters. Add one after your draw step. Skip chapters don't trigger. Okay. Another target non-land permanent phases out. It can't phase in for as long as you control this.
Rather than always end.
So you can even do it to your opponent's stuff. Okay. Destroy all oh my god. At least they get to create 2/2s, I suppose.
Entering with a single lore counter starting on chapter 1. Sagas with Read Ahead can start on any chapter you like. You can have the phasing of Zalfir enter with 1,
Heavy
2,
flow for
or
days.
3
Damn. Rapping over here.
counters on it. The corresponding chapter ability will trigger and earlier ones won't. And after the story is done and the last chapter ability is finished, you sacrifice the saga just like before.
All right. So we're getting sagas back in this set. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a twist for this
Of course.
one. But what has your experience been with sagas so far?
Yeah, sagas are near the top of the list of my favorite card type.
Mirari Conjecture, Poggies.
You know, as a primarily limited player, they play out beautifully. They play out kind of like how a Planeswalker would, but they have an endpoint on them, so you can kind of plan around it. But also, they tell a story, right? And to me, they're one of the most expressive type of Magic cards where they hit that core thing where you get it. You know, you see it and you go, that's neat. I understand what story's being told, even if it's just a little mini story throughout the chapters of a saga. Okay, now I get why skipping...
So, if you... Okay, so what you can do, on your turn, you can play this. This would be turn 6, though, so it's kind of useless. Or you need 6 mana. So you could do some type of flicker effect to make this actually destroy shit on their turn. You know what I mean?
Ahead might sometimes be a good thing to do.
Right, because this just gives you that flexibility.
Because they could still attack you, right?
Right?
Yeah, that's huge.
And that's got to be huge. And with this, I mean, there's so many different applications.
Or you can run the 3 mana Virulent Plague, right? What is that? Virulent Plague. Whatever this is. Yeah. But if you're in black, you might as well. Well, it makes black get it makes black get a board wipe instead of just like Rituals or Extinction Event. It's like a black board wipe. I mean, it's not really a wrath because they still get
Applications here.
they still get tokens. So they still get to attack you, right?
Playing this and winning the game by the time the second chapter goes. Like, oh, I'll take chapter 1, phase your thing out, hit you, phase your other thing out, kill you.
Right.
Even though chapter 3 is going to blow up the world.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, the thing is that you can put this down and have it on like phase 1. You can blink your own thing. Ooh, wait, no, that one. Never mind. Ignore me.
you can use this as a way to sweep the board, but again, if you feel like you
Yeah,
have
you can
enough
save
of a
your
board
own
presence,
stuff.
you can use this to save your best creatures, right? You
Yeah.
can play this, phase out your 2 best creatures, then you sweep the board, your 2 best creatures come back, and they just have a bunch of tutus.
Feels like the type of card that situationally
This plus
is gonna be
Ornithopters.
Enlist.
Enlist?
Enlist is an attack-oriented triggered ability.
Wonderful.
Whenever a creature with Enlist attacks, you may tap another creature you control to add its power to the attacking creature until end of turn. But there are some rules.
Okay.
The creature you enlist can't also be attacking, and it can't have summoning sickness, meaning it can't have just come under your control this turn. Enlist will help even the smallest creatures contribute on offense. This fight needs everyone, so stand united.
Guardian of New
It's like
Benalia.
Exalted?
So this is 1 and a white for a 2/2 rare human
Is it?
soldier with Enlist. This
Banding?
looks like a pain. I do not want to play against this card in any format.
Banding,
And, you know, this is
banding,
another
banding,
take on
banding,
kind
fixed
of the
banding,
very
banding,
hard to deal
banding,
with sticky
banding,
white
banding,
creature
banding,
that's
question
going
mark,
to see a lot
banding.
of play in these constructed formats, right? So
Banding
you know,
2.0
you can just ensure
Lamau.
that you get those perfect curve
Better
strikes. You can
banding,
go one drop,
Lamau.
Guardian,
Banding, let's
attack,
go.
Enlist. Oh, you want to block? Indestructible, and I get to set up my future draws. This card seems incredible.
This is really impressive, and I'm scared of it. And you know, there has been
I
a
have
push
some
for
sour
white
bites
to be able
here.
to not draw extra cards necessarily, but augment its draw step.
Right.
This keeps you, Scry 2 is very powerful, keeps you just drawing what you need to keep that pressure on, and you can't get rid of the thing. But
Wait.
You know, it seems incredible.
It can have summoning sickness, but you can use it for things that can't attack for a while. Like unless you have City's Blessing, like that one 5/5 Raptor for 3 that allows you to put an additional land into the battlefield. Or not the Raptor. It's like Saber-tooth something, right? Wish you could smoke your weed in the hospital? What?
This is
Why are you in the hospital?
really impressive, and I'm scared.
Ronus,
of it. And,
yeah.
You know, there has been a push for white to be able to not draw extra cards necessarily, but augment its draw step.
Right.
This keeps you, Scry 2 is very powerful, keeps you just drawing what you need to keep that pressure on.
Judge, yeah.
And you can't get rid of the thing.
Really excited to see how this pans out because this is going to be a staple, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the idea was
Yeah.
behind showing Paul and I this card, because this is the type of thing we have nightmares about, but sure, it plays.
It's going to be something I'm going to be losing to a lot.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of these new mechanics. Marshall, what do you think about the mechanics that you've seen today and how it compares to Dominaria?
Wayward Swordtooth, yeah.
Well, first thing that stands out, of course, are the core mechanics that we've seen. We talked about Kicker, talked about that, love it, super excited for it. Sagas, we don't always
Where the fuck is my infect?
get.
Right.
And anytime
You got an infection in your feet? Oh, God.
we do, I automatically up my bar for my expectations, so I've done that. And when I see
Just get somebody to sneak you in some edibles. You'll be fine. Or your vape. That's what I did.
different colored mana symbols come up on these type of really powerful cards like we saw with that angel, I'm in. Right now I'm thinking I can make the mana work too, and that's kind of the last ingredient for me. So expectations are about as high as I can get. Yeah, so who here brought the packs so we can
Can we
I
crack
was
some
told
packs maybe?
maybe booster draft? No?
As you can see, there's a lot to look forward to with Magic returning to where it all began. You can pre-order Dominaria
Hazara is haste. Yeah, but Hazara isn't a creature, right?
United online or at your local game store. And of course, you'll be able to find it at pre-releases starting September 2nd and available everywhere starting September 9th. That just about wraps things up for us, but before you go, apparently there's a few last things players need to know about this latest Phyrexian threat.
Oh, never mind. That one. Okay.
It is time for Dominaria to finally become whole. I will stitch perfection into the flesh of this land.
Furry's out. All right. So 4 mana for 4 loyalty completed. You can pay with 2 life. If you did that, it has 2 fewer loyalty counters. So it can be 3 with 2 loyalty. But it's 4 of 4 loyalty for the most part. It only gets +1, so it doesn't have a 6-pack. I don't know why Ajani doesn't have a 6-pack. It's ridiculous. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it at the bottom of your library. Okay. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 target creatures. They gain Vigi. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. Interesting.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it means you either really enjoyed the video or you fell asleep and I'm waking you up now. Either way, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, come out with videos 7 days a week.